This week for homework, we are going to review our 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication and long division solving the traditional method. We are going to go over some vocabulary. I know y'all have been working really hard on these, so you should know all of these words. Factors are numbers that are multiplied together to get the product. And remember, there are only a few factors when we find factors of numbers. The answer to a multiplication problem are products. And a dividend is the number that lives in the house. It's the number you break down. Usually we always start with a big dividend and break that down. Divisor is the number you divide by. How many groups will you make? How many will be in each group? That's our divisor. Our quotient is the answer to a division problem. Multiply 2-digit by 2-digit numbers. Okay, y'all have done a great job and gone over all the steps of multiplying 2-digit by 2-digit numbers. So we are going to review that. We always start at the bottom in the ones place and multiply the top number in the ones place. 3 times 2 is 6. Then we go to the top tens place. 3 times 5 is 15. Then it's the twos turn. It's not really a 2, it's a 20, so I have to add a 0. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, these are both our partial products, so we are going to draw a line, add these two partial products together to get our final product. That's my crazy looking 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. 1 plus 0 is 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. So my product, 1,196. Okay, boys and girls, I want you to hit pause and look at your homework recording sheet and try this problem by yourself. It's on the homework sheet. Go ahead and try it and then come back and check it with me. Okay, we're going to start in the ones place. Everything on the bottom times everything on the top, and always start in our ones place. So 4 times 8 is 32, so I've got to carry my 3 and put my 2 down at the bottom. Now 4 times 6 is 24, but I have to add this 3. 24, 25, 26, 27. 27. Okay, now it's the 5's turn. But it's not really a 5, it's a 50. So I'm going to add my 0 and cross my number out at the top. Always start in the ones place. So 5 times 8 is 40. So carry my 4 at the top, put my 0 down at the bottom. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 4, 34. Once you get your two partial products, you're going to add those two numbers together. 2 plus 0 is 2. 7 plus 0 is 7. 2 plus 4 is 6. And 3 comes straight down. So my product is 3,672. Okay, boys and girls, now we're going to start with long division. Okay, let's get started with our long division. I have one problem right here, 97 divided by 4. And I'm going to write it the house way so I can do my traditional long division. I'm going to start with Dividing. Remember my acronym. Does McDonald's sells cheeseburgers? So that's what I'm going to use to help me. How many times will 4 go into 9? I know 4 times 2 is 8, so 2 times, write my 2 at the top, then I'm going to multiply. 2 times 4 is 8. Then I'm going to subtract. 9 minus 8 is 1. Bring down my 7. And I always draw my arrow and make sure I draw it all the way to the line. So bring that 7 down. Now, after you bring down for burgers right here, we are going to go back to divide. How many times does 4 go into 17? Well, I know 4 times 3 is 15, so your answers always go at the top. 3 times 4 is 12. I'm going to subtract. 7 minus 2 is 4. Well, boys and girls, this number must be smaller than my divisor. So I've made a mistake, and I have to go back and look and see where my mistake was. I know this number could have been bigger. So once you've realized that, it's easy just to go back and say, how many times will 4 go into 17? I know it's more than 3, so I'm going to try 4. 4 times 4 is 16. After you multiply, you're going to subtract. 7 minus 6 is 1. Now we're going to check, is 1 less than 4? Awesome, it is. So now I'm done. So 24, remainder 1. 24, remainder 1. And now I'm going to check my problem using multiplication. 24 times 4, I'm going to use my quotient, multiplied by my divisor. I'm going to multiply those together. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. There's 96. And I had one remainder, so I'm going to add that. 96 plus 1 is 97. Look right here. That matches my dividend. So good job. I've got that one correct. All right, let's go ahead and try another problem. Okay, we're going to continue our traditional long division. And I've got it written horizontally, 67 divided by 3. And I'm using the house way, so I can help do that long division. How many times will 3 go into 6? That's my dividing. 2, so put your answer at the top. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, subtract right here's my next step. 6 minus 6 is 0. Bring down my 7. Okay, how many times will 7 go into 3? Because after you bring down, you've got to go back and divide. How many times will 3 go into 7? 3 will go into 7 2 times. 2 times 3 is 6. Then subtract. 7 minus 6 is 1. Is 1 less than 3? Very good. It has to be less than our divisor. So remainder 1. And I can check by saying 22 times 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 2 is 6. I've got 66 plus my 1 remainder. 66 plus 1 is 67. Let's check to see if my two numbers match. My product matches right here and my dividend matches. Very good. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move to our very last problem for today. Now this problem is the very first problem on the division section of your homework. So I want you to push pause. Go ahead, try this one by yourself. Okay, hopefully you've already solved this one, and so now you're going to be able to check. Sometimes what I like to do is I like to go ahead and write all of my multiples of my divisor down. That way it can help me when I am dividing and multiplying. So I'm just going to go ahead and write all those multiples down. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I'm just counting by fives, and I can do this with any number. 40, 45, and 50. And I know it can't be more than 50 because I'm not going to be using a two-digit number when I divide. Okay, so how many times will 5 go into 45? Well, look right here, it's 45. So now how many times is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 will go into 45 9 times. And I'm putting my 9 directly above my 5 because it's not going into the 4, it's going into 45, that whole number. So 9, now I'm going to multiply. 9 times 5 is 45. And the next step after multiplying is subtracting. 45 minus 45 is 0. Now I'm going to bring that number down. Bring 3 all the way down. Now I've got to divide. How many times will 5 go into 3? Well, the smallest it will go is 5, so that must be 0. 5 will go into 0 3 times. My next step is to multiply. 0 times 5 is 0. Subtract. 3 minus 0 is 3. And is 3 smaller than my divisor? Yes. Awesome. So now my quotient, 90, remainder 3. Okay, boys and girls, go ahead and finish that recording sheet, and you've got some more practice problems to do, and y'all have a great week. Happy flipping!